Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm Amaria Scott, and today I'm going to be talking about where I was and what I was doing during the COVID 2020 lockdown. So I know it's a different story to talk about, but I decided I was going to talk about this because I remember this time like it was yesterday, and it was honestly a lot going on during that time. So first things first, back in 2019, I graduated high school, and I graduated in May of 2019. Graduated from high school, and so I took the rest of that year off to just work and whatnot. I still didn't know what I wanted to do with. I still didn't know what I wanted to do with my life and whatnot. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna focus on working. And then next semester, and the spring semester, I'm gonna start going to college. Or whatever. And so I was just like, okay, so, I took the rest of the year off, was just working, whatnot, having fun, doing things, whatnot, traveling a little bit, whatnot. And then, towards the end of 2019, I, decided that I was gonna, because I was working at McDonald's during the time, I decided I wanted to pursue another job, and so I got hired at a local Sam's Club, working in a cafe. I was working in a cafe, and I was also working as a cashier and whatnot, and bagging people's groceries and whatnot. So I'm like, okay. And so 2020 comes around, and that's when I decided again that I during the fall of 2019 I signed up and registered for classes for the spring. And so obviously 2020 spring semester comes around, so I'm like, okay. And so I'm in school. March 2020 comes around, and that's when we were still on spring break. And I'm like, okay. I was excited, because I was working part-time as well as going to school, so it was just a lot going on. And so I was happy to finally get a break, or whatnot. And so we go on spring break, and then we don't come back. At least we don't come back to school. We don't come back in person because, COVID, the lockdown started happening. And so they shut down, obviously, businesses and all of that. Everyone was there during that time when it happened. So everyone knows, like, what happened during that time. Businesses were shut down. Schools were shut down. Only essential jobs are open, like grocery stores and hospitals and all of that. So, me working at a grocery store at this local Sam's Club, it stayed open. And that's where I was at during that time, and I must say it was honestly like one of the craziest experiences ever, and something that I will like never forget. Something I'm always talking about because it was a crazy time. And yeah. And so so we didn't come back in person for school when spring break was over. We got a whole email sent out, and everything saying, everything will be resumed, but online because, due to the COVID lockdown and all of that. So it was definitely a time, honestly, it was really hard for me to, keep up with, my classes and staying focused. I got it done. I passed semesters. I passed a semester with 2 A's and 1 B. So I definitely did it. It was very hard, honestly. It was hard to, stay motivated when all of this was happening in the world. It made me want to like kind of give up because I'm just like, I don't know what the future is in store for us. So I was just like, you know what, like, is this even worth it? But I continued on. I'm like, let me just at least finish this semester out because I don't know what the world is going to be. I don't know what's going to happen here on out. I'm just going to make sure I get this done, complete this, and then I'm just going to take, the rest of, the year off or whatnot. Kind of like I did back in 2019 after I graduated. I just took the rest of the year off. But I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to do that. And so that's what I did. And during that time, I was working in the grocery store. Everybody had to wear a mask. Everybody had to social distance. You had a lot of people stocking their grocery carts with a lot of tissue and sanitizer. There was just a whole lot going on. A lot of people carrying a lot, stocking their carts with a bunch of groceries. It was just like a whole frantic and panic, and yeah. But yeah, that's my experience.